Sorry? Yep, gotcha.
I'm not sure if you saw what Kenny said yesterday, but he said in hindsight he wished that you guys would have been in cover 2 on some of the explosives. Do you feel like you had great confidence in the calls and you read that same thing over again?
We had three calls up, calls that we've repped a bunch of times in those situations, and if there's anything ever symptomatic that that's not going to work on Saturday, we automatically can it. So we never call anything that we haven't practiced, that we haven't met on, that we haven't been done exclusively. I wasn't aware that Kenny said that, but there's always hindsight. Like, I'd rather be in this call, I'd rather be in that call, and it's part of every game strategy. And when certain situations call for certain calls, we get to those calls and make those calls.
And so, what was on the first and third ones? What's your sort of breakdown of those plays?
It was the fourth play of the game. They hit us with tempo. We repped that play numerous times. Our offense has given that play numerous times in fall camp and during practice. And there was there was a hiccup in the communication, and blew the coverage, and he caught it, and made a guy miss and scored. And when that's why we just constantly preach just communication, the emphasis on communication. And I tried to go into the game just repping, just like basically one call, because we knew we were going to get the tempo, and sometimes those things happen.
The last one, you guys were in quarters, I think, maybe there.
Yeah, it was a quarters with the pressure, and we've repped that play actually in games. You can go to Iowa State and see it. We ran it twice and hit every time. Against Texas, we ran it once, hit against Texas, and I think you go back to Kansas last year, we ran that same. It hit against Kansas in terms of guys running free, and it's just one of those things. In the moment, a lot happens, and we talk about the moment a lot. And the best thing that we can do as coaches is try to prepare our guys and get them ready for that moment. And and then when it doesn't work, the only thing I can do is look at myself and go, hey, what do I got to do next time to get either that play right and get 11 guys right, or get individuals just to be in the moment before that play happens. So it comes down to, hey, I go back and I reflect and I look back and I go, hey, in hindsight, what should I have done? But whether we do that again the next time, it's all a matter of strategy, and it's a matter of strategy and whatever the situation calls for.
X might have hit Chapin if their feet didn't get caught, it seemed like.
Yeah, that probably would have happened, and it probably even worse, for them, So, there's a couple plays, before that even happened that we turned guys loose in coverage, So, that play was symptomatic of what already happened during the series. So I didn't want to stay in some of those same calls. And whenever I see something not working, I get to something else. I'm not going to keep, calling the same play, expecting different results. That's the definition of madness, right?
Yeah.
You want to get to something else. So, it's tough. We feel that, and it wasn't just one play. There was 60 plays in that game. We played lights out defense, but we constantly remind our guys it's not about being occasionally great. We got to be consistently good, and being good on defense is about the body of work. You can't play 8 bad plays, and 5 of those plays weren't very good, but we didn't have to pay the ultimate price for them. But 3 of them, and again, that goes back. I go back to the drawing board and I first look at myself and I go, hey, how can I make sure that situation doesn't happen again?
And you guys really didn't give up a lot of big plays last year. That was one thing you guys were really good at containing that. So is that a little disconcerting to have a few of those? And obviously they proved.
Well, our goal is to hold teams. Excuse me, my voice is gone. Is to hold us under, each team under 9 explosive plays, and that's our formula is 12 yards plus for runs and 16 yards plus for passes. So. That's the formula we follow every game, and our first game they were at 7. So that wasn't, we met our goal, but that's not where we want to be at. We gave up 4 explosives against Mississippi State, but 3 went for touchdowns. And so, our whole deal is if you get explosives, that's okay. It gets us into situations where we can execute our situational calls, and we weren't able to do it, and that was disappointing.
Was the biggest positive, you think, playing in such a hostile environment on the road and really keeping Mississippi State scoreless or holding up a field goal for as long as you did? I mean, that's the one positive you could take away?
Yeah, I mean, there's positives to take away from everything, and you know, our guys fought really hard, and there's always things that we can improve on, and you just hope that, you know, mistakes aren't going to, you know, certain mistakes won't be the difference in the game, and you know, from a defensive standpoint, we could have, you know, I know on the other side, you know, those guys are going, they're lucky they had that flag picked up, you know what I mean, and you know, they're lucky that, you know, that we didn't execute that last play, you know what I mean, like they're sitting over there going, hey, we're thanking our lucky stars those things didn't happen, but at the same time, like, we can't control them, we can only control us, and I can only control our process, and you know, it's being a defensive coach, it's being a defensive player. You play, you know, our players can play 30 great plays, but they get really 4 or 5 opportunities to make a play and impact the game, and those are the plays that they think about. Those are the plays that we think about as coaches. So it's a collaborative effort, and we're in it, you know, together. So it's it's hard to look back on a game like that and go, man, you know, 1 or 2 plays could have swung that in our direction.
You talk just a little Texas State, was what you faced this week.
Yeah. Just an offensive scheme that is really designed around strictly the players that they have, and it's very well thought out. You just look at everything they do on offense, from every situation that they play, that they're literally marrying it around the personnel that they have. They're not, you know, hard-headed coaches that just want to run their system and run their scheme the way they see fit. They literally know, hey, here's the skill set of our offensive line, here's the skill set of our quarterbacks, here's the skill set of our receivers, and this is what we're going to do in these situations. And you know, they do things different, and it's going to be a real challenge for us.
You haven't got quite the number of takeaways this year so far. Granted, it's small sample size. Yeah. You guys feasted on those last year. Is it just bad luck, wrong position, not enough tip balls?
We're so shoot. We've had 12 PBUs last year. At this time, we had like 8. We're getting our hands, and we're getting really close to getting those. I think we've almost tripled our tip balls for the first 2 games. So you know, those opportunities are there. They're not going in our direction right now, and we're going to continue to emphasize it. And you know, turnovers, you just got to keep pounding the rock. You know what I mean? And eventually it's going to break, and then all of a sudden they come in waves, and that's what happened to us last year. So we're going to continue to move forward with the process and make an emphasis of it, and we need to make a bigger emphasis of it. So you know, you get what you emphasize.
Their quarterback is athletic, and he also makes off-platform throws down the field. So can you just talk about the challenge of facing a guy like that?
Yeah, he's incredibly mobile. He believes in himself, has a lot of moxie. He's really tough. He'll break tackles. He'll keep plays alive with his feet, and he has an arm. He can throw the ball, you know, down the field. That's probably his best ball, is throwing the ball downfield and letting his receivers run underneath it. So he presents a lot of explosive playability, and it starts with that dude. And then he has 2 receivers that really can stretch the field, and has another big, you know, rangy, you know, level 1, level 2 type guy too. So yeah, we got to be ready for these guys.
You guys are good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.